Welcome, welcome, everybody. Welcome. Hey, Felicia. Hey, Angela, Dahlia, Kate, Tommy. I'm going to miss everybody's name. Betty, Jen, Kathleen, Jen again, Ron, Derek, Ben, Connie. I think that's you, Lena. Hey, Lena. Muhammad, Ashley, Deshaun. Wow. Deborah, Heidi, Dwayne, Jacqueline. Hey, Jacqueline, what's going on? Good to see you as always. Marvell, what's going on? Obviously, what's up, Selena? Hello. Gracious host,
Hey,
BSBA
Chris.
President, El President. Hey,
Hey,
Angela.
Chris. We
Hey,
have
Angela.
some members of the National Christian Chamber of Commerce visiting this presentation.
Whoa,
So be on your
welcome.
best behavior. Ron Sharp is the
I
president
will
of the
do
National
that.
Christian
I'll
Chamber.
do that. My language will be all PG-13 today. Welcome to the chamber. Welcome, Ron. Welcome, everyone. Appreciate everyone for joining. An honor and always a privilege for me to do this. This is, I'm almost a little sad because this is our third and I think final installment of this lecture series for this year. I am super hopeful that we will be doing this again and again and again in 2021. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Thank you for everyone who's joined in the past and everyone who will be joining us in the future. And obviously for everyone who's here now, I'm not going to waste any time because why waste your time, right? Your time is super precious, and I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to share my screen. I'll do a quick intro, and then we will get down to the nitty gritty. By the way, I have a dog behind me, the pit bull. His name is King, and he is he's here. Okay, so you may hear him. Okay. Hey, Brianna, welcome. What's going on? I think I said hi to Heidi. Also, all right, let's share the screen and let's get it going right now. Share screen. Boom, boom. Let's do this one. All right. So you should be able to see my screen in a moment. I'm going to put it in present mode. And it should be loading. Hello, everyone. Right on. What's up, Heidi? I see you in the chat. Let's see why this is taking so long to load. Let's try that again. Let's try one more time. Let's get us loaded up here. By the way, I always sort of try to start with just saying thank you to everybody who's here, because obviously our time is super precious. This is a very important time, I think, for like a lot of us, historically, right? This has been a historic year, for a lot of different reasons. And so I do want to just extend appreciation to everyone who's here once again, because this year has been a lot for a lot of us, right? And for people like you who are entrepreneurs, who are business owners, who are business managers, really people driving business, this has been an especially tough time for you. We know that very much as BSBA. We spend a lot of our time advocating on your behalf here in the state of California, locally and countywide and statewide. And so just to start, just want to show you some extra love for hanging in there, okay? For hanging in there and for being forward thinking. So without further ado, welcome to Instagram and Facebook Marketing Essentials during COVID-19 by Sac Black Biz. Sac Black Biz is it is Sacramento's premier, most awesomest marketing hub, social media marketing hub for Sacramento County-based Black-owned businesses. I started Sac Black Biz in 2016, really to support business owners like yourselves. And it's just sort of grown way beyond anything in my wildest dreams since then. And so we do marketing and we do marketing support for Sacramento Black-owned businesses on a daily, hourly, really minute by minute basis. We run the largest directory of Black-owned businesses in the county of Sacramento, thousands of dollars of referrals on a monthly basis. And we serve and support Sacramento's Black-owned businesses as much as we can on a regular basis. So that is who is presenting this. And I'm Chris Lodge, and I started Sac Black Biz, but it is not a one-man effort. Really, it is the effort of an entire community here in Sacramento. So today we're going to be talking about Facebook and marketing essentials, right? Today you're going to learn though, and we're going to start with Instagram, actually. So today you'll learn, one, what Instagram is, what makes the Instagram community unique, right? How to install and get on Instagram, how to create a presence, the importance of Instagram as it relates to your business's presence, and then also how to post content that gets you customers, right? That's the sort of basics of Instagram, the essentials as we call it. Today also you'll learn about Facebook pages, particularly the mobile versions of Facebook pages. You'll understand the importance of creating your presence for your business on Facebook, mobile facing. You'll talk about different ways. So we will talk about different ways to communicate with customers from your page. And then we're going to understand some of the tools to help us manage and measure how well our pages are doing. Of course, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. Also, this is as much of a conversation as it is a workshop. And so use the chat. There's a chat button somewhere down in the bottom there. You should be able to see. Use the chat. Questions, comments, feedback are totally welcome. So please use that chat. There is like a section for Q&A at the end, but feel free. I'll be checking the chat, trying to answer as much as I can as we go through the presentation. And just so we are starting on the right foot, put a 1 in the chat if you are ready to learn about some amazing, awesome Facebook and Instagram essentials. Put a 1 in the chat if you are ready to get started. All right, some 1s coming in. Thank you so much. All right. So, oh wow, okay, more 1s than I thought. All right. Now, as an added bonus, after today, you will be Facebook Blueprint certified into Instagram e-learning course for beginners, and Facebook Blueprint certified for Intro to Facebook e-learning course for beginners. So maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but Facebook actually has an academy that trains people how to use Facebook and how to use Instagram, and it gives its own certifications, it gives its own courses, gives its own assessments, et cetera. And so after today's lessons, you will be technically certified for the first sort of part of those courses, Intro to Instagram and Intro to Facebook pages for beginners. So if you were to go to Facebook Blueprint, there's a whole section there. You could do one. You could pass both of those assessments based on what we are going to do today, and then you would have a nice certificate to show people, hey, I don't just say I know what I'm talking about. I actually know what I'm talking about. So that's another benefit of what you're going to learn today. Ready, set, wait, ask. And I say this, in the each of these presentations, I say ready, set, ask, because what you're going to realize, and some of you probably already realize, is that taking a moment to stop and think about what it is you're trying to accomplish and asking yourself some important questions about what it is that you're trying to accomplish on social media, with social media, is going to be a way for you to be more successful ultimately with what you do on social media. It's going to prevent a lot of frustration, confusion, and problems. And to help you ask some basic questions, we have a assessment form that asks, I think, 7 or 8 different questions that you want to be asking yourself before you even get started on social media. Now, most of us, like myself, we just jumped on social media and just started doing stuff. That's fine. That's totally fine, right? That's totally fine. But at a certain point, you want to stop and ask yourself some basic questions, and we have a form to help you do that. If you're interested in seeing the entire form, because I can't go through it all right now with the time that we have, follow up with us via email, the same email that you use to connect to this workshop. We will get you the assessment form that gets you, to answer maybe 6, 7, 8 questions about what it is that you're trying to accomplish on social media. One thing I try to make clear about in every single one of these workshops is this: these are tools. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever you're using, are tools to get stuff done in your business. They're tools to get stuff done in your business. If you don't take away anything else that I've said today, take this away. These are tools to get stuff done in your business, okay? So being clear about what you want to get in your business is necessary. It's a requirement. It's something that you have to at least have put some sort of thought into before you're going to ultimately be successful on social media. You're going to save a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of money ultimately if you are more clear about what you're trying to get done in your business and how the social media that you're using or not using can help you get that done. So ready, set, ask, okay? Here are some of the basic questions. I'll give you an overview of some of them. So, very, very simply, what are your top and primary business goals? What are you trying to accomplish in your business? Are you trying to get more sales? Are you trying to expose people to a new product? Are you trying to get more people to know about your business? What are you trying to do? What is your top or primary business goal? What is your top or primary social media goal? Your social media goals have to support your business goals. So generally on Facebook, at least, we think of business goals, social media goals in 3 categories: awareness, exposure, and conversion, right? Generally. But each one of those social media goals has to support your top primary business goals. Remember, these are tools. Social media is a tool to get stuff done in your business. So you have to align the 2 goals. When there's a misalignment, you get confusion, you get ineffectiveness, you get nobody seeing your posts, you get all kinds of bad outcomes when there is not an alignment, or when your primary business goals and your top primary social media goals do not match. And you can see number 3 there is, do they match, right? Do they match? What do you know about who your target market is? Okay? What do you know about who your target market is? What do you know about where your target market already hangs out on social media, right? Are they already hanging out on Instagram? Are they already hanging out on Facebook? Neither, right? These are important questions to at least start to think about and start to ask yourself about before you go all in, and especially before you put any money into social media ads or social media marketing, especially before you put any money in. And as a matter of fact, before you put any money in, Facebook and Instagram will ask you some of these questions, right? They will ask you about who your target is. So you have to know, and you want to at least be knowing more about who your market is, what your business goals are, and where your market is before you move forward with any serious social media marketing. And I always say to folks, spend some time before you put any money in, spend some time doing what we call organic social media marketing, meaning marketing that is grassroots, that doesn't require any money. Learn the ins and outs of getting organic marketing, and then think about going forward and putting some money in ads. Let's move forward. Let's go. Let's talk about Instagram. Let's go through a quick introduction to the essentials of Instagram. Obviously, well, let me not say obviously, let me ask you, type the number 2 in the chat if you are on Instagram, meaning if your business or your personal, profile, if you have already an Instagram account. I want to see who here is already on Instagram for any reason. Okay, a bunch of us are already on Instagram. That's super awesome. So you already know that Instagram is both a mix of business and people, right? Business and people, brands and people, from its own mouth, right? And I'm sure you all know that Facebook owns Instagram, right? Facebook was bought by Instagram many years ago, right? So we're clear that for this closure, but from its own mouth, Instagram says that its mission is to what? To strengthen relationships through shared experiences. More than a billion people are using Instagram, worldwide, and more than 500 million people are using it every single day. It is the fastest growing online community still, even with the TikToks of the world, even with the other kinds of social media of the world. Instagram is still up there. And it's important to think more closely about what Instagram says its official mission is, because that is reflected in the kinds of things you see on Instagram. Instagram is very much about telling stories. It's very much about sharing experiences, and it's very much about relationships. And you're going to see that all over Instagram. So let's talk specifically about some of the reasons to establish your business account on Instagram, your business account. So this is separate now from your personal, even though if you're like me, you started your presence on Instagram sort of a mix. You sort of had your own personal thing going on, but then you threw some of your business stuff up there too. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. At a certain point, you're going to want to create a separate business account for Instagram. So type number 3 in the chat if you have a separate business account for Instagram for your business that's separate from your personal. What is Instagram about, though? Well, generally, it's about connecting passions. It's about visual immersion, and it's about exploration. So people go to Instagram to find and share passions. If you have spent any time on Instagram, and some of us have probably spent more time on Instagram than we should, you know that people are sharing their passions on Instagram, whether it be food, whether it be travel, dance, music, fashion, anything that people are passionate about, work in some cases, anything that people are passionate about, family, right? Kids, education. Instagram is largely about connecting people who have shared passions, okay? Keep this in mind as we talk more about what kind of content you should be posting through your business account on Instagram. People are going to Instagram, so potential customers, when I say people, think potential customers are going to Instagram to find and share passions. Keep that in mind. They're also going to Instagram to find stories, visual stories. As you know, Instagram is really visual based, right? Even though you can use text, and there's hourly comments and DMs also, but Instagram is about images and video. It's about the art of storytelling. Okay, keep this in mind also when we are talking about and thinking about what kinds of content, what kinds of things you want to be sharing about your business. What's your business's story, right? What's passionate about your own business? Why are you in business, right? What's your passion that drove you to start your business? What is your business's story, right? These are the kinds of things that people want to see and connect with and engage with the best on Instagram. Not, hey, here's my product, here's the price, here's where you get it. Thank you very much. Even though that's all true and all useful, right? That's too dry. On Instagram, you want to bring people into and connect with people on a visual and story level, right? And you want to connect with people's passion. So really you're talking about connecting with people emotionally, okay? So you want to think about what about your business draws out emotions, right? Whether it's food, right? Whether it's fashion, right? Whether it's kids. What is it about your business that draws out passion? And what's your business's story? Also, there's a part of us I think as just people that are open to and really attracted to exploring and finding new things, right? There's a discovery part of Instagram that I don't think people focus on enough, even though there's a tab on Instagram called Explore. But people are on Instagram to be inspired and to explore and to create new connections, to discover new things, okay? So think about this when we're talking about what kinds of content to post. What are the kinds of things that are new that people can discover about your business, right? What is inspiring about your business? All reasons to establish your business account on Instagram, and all reasons and all ideas to keep in mind when we are talking about what kinds of content are gonna do the best and are gonna make you the most money ultimately on Instagram. And remember, these are tools. These are tools to get stuff done in your business. Okay, so keep your top business goals in mind. Keep your primary and top business goals in mind. This slide says a lot of what we said in the last slide. Tell your story. Tell your business's story. Tell your story of how you got from not starting a business, not being an entrepreneur, to starting a business and being an entrepreneur. Tell the story of what it's like to go from just starting to being successful, or maybe some of the setbacks you had. Tell the story of what it's like to be an entrepreneur during 2020, during a time of a historic pandemic, right? Tell the story. That's what makes Instagram content the most compelling. The accounts for businesses that do the best are the accounts that tell stories, the accounts that create relationships that span time with what used to be complete strangers, but what will ultimately be your best customers, right? Be found. There's something called organic Instagram accounts. And really we're talking about accounts that aren't really putting a lot of money into ads, and at least in this case. And I said, before you put any money into any ads, right? Sometimes people think, ads are sort of a shortcut to like getting exposure or getting clients. There is a right way and a wrong way to use ads. I always recommend that you start with just being organic, not paying for anything just to start, and figuring out how to use the platform before you start to put any ads into anything on Instagram and on Facebook.
Hey, Chris, you have a question in the chat.
Yeah, let's get to the question. Cool. All right. So, how long should a typical story be? So it depends on what the story is, and that word story, I want to put a circle around that story, that word story, because there's something called an Instagram story, right? So in the chat, tell me if you know, or if you think you know, tell me what are Instagram stories. There's a particular type of content called an Instagram story. However, how long should the story that you're telling about your business be? It can be as long as the story exists. It could be as short as the story exists. It really depends on the story, right? Some there are obviously like limits on the length of content. So it's 1 minute for video, right? Obviously you can put as many images as you want to, If you wanted to extend the length of the video, you would have to use what we call IGTV, which I think you can post, stories and video up to about up to 15 minutes. But generally, the story that you tell about your business should be as long as the story is. So for example, if I have a business or let's say I am a food entrepreneur and I'm a chef and I am, I've been doing home cooking for the past 10 years and now I'm just, raising enough money to open up my own storefront, right? Open up my own restaurant, right? I want to talk about what the process is for, getting my license to open up the new storefront, and what it's like getting the construction done, and what are the issues I ran into with getting staff, and like that story could last months, right? And then the next chapter to that story is going to be what it's like to open up, what it's like to go through the first few months, right? Really, it depends on your business. But let me go to the chat and see if we have an answer to the technical story question. So I have some answers here. Stories basically are stories basically videos rather than photos? Yes. Highlight for 24 hours? Yes. What is better, stories or reels for business? I'm gonna come to that because that's a great question too. Instagram and Facebook, and I think now even YouTube has a kind of video content it calls stories. These are very short video clips, no longer than 10 seconds, that disappear after 24 hours. Okay, so very short video clips, last for 10 seconds only, that disappear after 24 hours. After 24 hours, it's no longer findable on Instagram or on Facebook. So when you ask the question about stories, that's why I did want to ask that follow-up question, because there is a type of content we call stories on Instagram, and stories are very useful. The kind of content we call stories are very, very useful for businesses. For example, if you have a sale that's that's gonna last for 24 hours, or you want to tease a product, right? That's a very, very useful kind of content for Instagram and also for Facebook, right? Gina, great question. What is better, stories or reels for business? So for those of you who don't know reels, don't know what reels are. Reels is Instagram's version of TikTok. For those of you who don't know what TikTok is a very now famous all video platform that uses a sort of a swipe up video setting that plays very short video clips. I think from 10 to 15 seconds, just video clips from 10 to 15 seconds. And so TikTok over the summer really exploded and got very, very popular with a lot of the younger folks. And so Instagram and Facebook said, oh, hey, that's working. We're going to do our own version of that. And it's called Reels. And so now you'll have a button on your Instagram account that takes you to Instagram Reels. What's better, stories or Reels? To be honest, it depends on what you're using it for. I would say right now, stories, because stories has a bigger reach and stories is more, and that's mostly because Reels is new. I would be on both though. Okay? So I would be on both, and I think you can cross post too, if I'm not mistaken. So I would be on both. And the question from Ron is, do you pay for video stories? No, you do not pay at all. All of this is free in the sense that you don't pay for anything directly. Obviously, Facebook and Instagram traffic in information, right, and advertising, and so the platforms are free to us. The posting is free. You using videos and creating stories and even using Reels are free. But Facebook and Instagram make money through selling ads. So it's not 100% free, right? There is a cost to somebody. Rounding up this part of the why it is important to have a specific business account on Instagram. Obviously, you can communicate directly with customers, right? This is something that is very, very useful now, right? You can speak directly to your customers. Customers can speak directly to you. There's no middleman. You can speak directly in the comments or in the DM. So really, really important. How to create your account on Instagram. Most of us are already on Instagram, so this will be easy for us. But if you're not, no worries, right? That's why you're here. Instagram and Facebook Essentials. All you got to do is download the Instagram app. You go to, if you're on Android like me, you go to Google Play. If you're on Apple, you go to the App Store, right? And you hit the search button, you type in Instagram. Once it pops up, you hit download and you download Instagram. It's going to ask you for some information, right? Name, email, etc. Fill all of that in. One thing that I try to recommend that people do is if you have a Facebook page for your business, you connect your Facebook page and your Instagram page. That allows you to cross-post from Facebook and Instagram. So for example, on our Sack Black Biz page on Instagram, by the way, you should all follow Sack Black Biz. I post from Instagram straight to Facebook with one touch of the button. That's very, very helpful for me because I do a lot of sharing through a lot of Facebook groups and parts of Facebook. So it's important for me to be able to simplify and to be more efficient in what I'm sharing and what I'm posting. So one recommendation is that you connect your Facebook and Instagram pages if you do have a particular Facebook page. Let me jump in the chat, make sure we don't have any outstanding questions. Posting part of your bio of your business or videos of your business would be okay if it's talking about your business. Absolutely. If you're using a specific business account, you want to tell people about your business. You want to give your website, you want to give hours, you want to give them, your slogan, right? You want to have your nice profile picture up there, right? Your logo, you want to make it very attractive and easy to use, and also easy to talk to you and easy to connect with you. Last thing to say is, that you want to create your Instagram account using mobile. Yes, there is a desktop version. It's definitely improved over the years, but Instagram was built to be mobile. Okay, mobile. All right. Great questions, by the way, fam. Let's see if we can move forward. Froze up a little bit here. All right. Growing your audience. So you're on Instagram now. You have an account. You have 0 followers. That's okay. All right. We all started with 0 followers or something close to zero followers, right? So how do you grow your audience? Well, how you create what we call strong, excuse me. Sorry, that's my dog there. Told you. Strong content, okay? All right. What is strong content? All right. Content that is high quality, on brand, and that people want to see or that's relevant. Okay. So strong content is high quality, it's on brand, and it's stuff that people want to see at the right time. So it's relevant content, right? This is the most useful formula for growing your audience. This is if you'll thought of this as sort of a soup, right? These are the ingredients that make the best soup here, and the best soup here is a large audience. However, think about what I said to start. These are tools to get stuff done in your business. Okay. I don't know about you, but I can't pay the rent for my storefront business with a large audience. Okay. I can't pay the rent or I can't buy new product with likes and shares. Okay. But I can do it with money. Okay. Money. All right. That's, and I get money through sales, right? So keep this in mind, that your goals here have to be your business goals. Your social media goals should support your business goals. So growing your audience is only a way to ultimately increase your sales, ultimately increase your traffic, ultimately increase your brand awareness, et cetera, et cetera. Keep your business goals in mind. That's where you have to be focused, on your business goals, all right? Now, what is strong content? Again, high quality, on brand, that people want to see. What is high quality? I think that was a question in the chat. What is high quality? Well, keep this in mind. Instagram is very visual. It's built for images and for video, like we said earlier. So that means that people have to be able to see your pictures. Your pictures need to be high quality. They need to be clear, right? If you're using video, people need to be able to see the people in the video, and they need to be able to hear the people in the video. So audio and lighting, right? That's something, sort of the basics. Sometimes people skip that, right? It's audio and lighting. They have to be on point. Doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but you at least have to be able to be seen and heard, right? That's what we mean by on high quality. On brand, it has to be speaking and telling the story of your brand. So what you're sharing, whatever you post, has to be speaking about your brand, and it has to be matching and relevant to your brand. And then strong content is content that people actually want to see. Now, you have some help with this part, because Instagram's job is to get content and post, get the right content and post to the right people, right? So that's part of Instagram's job. And so it uses a very fancy, what they call algorithm, formula, program to get the right content, the right post to the right people. But it's your job to make sure that what you're sharing is high quality and on brand, so that it ultimately gets to the right people. Creating strong content increases the likelihood that your account will be discovered by people who are not your followers. So if we're talking about growing your audience, the stronger the content, the more likely it is that people who are not following you will become your followers. I just spoke about the Instagram algorithm. That really is built to bring users new content that they might be interested in while they are scrolling, okay? So growing your audience is gonna be step one, really, but how do you do that? You prioritize strong content, and you really prioritize quality over quantity. Now, for those of us who have storefront businesses that are still open, right? I know most of us are under some sort of stay-at-home lockdown restriction on our businesses, but for those of us who still are fortunate enough to be able to use some capacity in our retail space, where I think it's 20% here in Sacramento, or can still do takeout and delivery in our restaurants. What's going to be important is that you take the Instagram experience offline also. So when you're meeting customers with your mask on and socially distanced in real life, make sure that you have a sign, or that you say something about your Instagram account, and ask your customers to follow you in on Instagram when you are actually visiting with them. Also, if you have some sort of email newsletter that goes out to your customers, make sure you put in a link to your Instagram account and ask folks to follow you on Instagram. The point here is that part of how you grow your audience is that you take the experience offline also, and that you interact with people in the real world. There's a big relationship between your number of followers that you sort of gain from talking to people in real life and your total number of followers. So also, you do want to make use of the other accounts that you have. So if you do have a Facebook page, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Instagram, tell people to follow you on Instagram. So, hey, I'm going to tweet my Instagram link. Hey, I'm going to Facebook post my Instagram link. Hey, on my website, I'm going to have a link to my Instagram. I'm going to have part of my Instagram feed on my website, right? Grow your audience by also expanding where you talk to your audience about your Instagram account. Quality over quantity. Quality over quantity. How do you connect with the right people on Instagram? Okay. You want, it's really nice to have 1 million followers, excuse me, but if nobody's buying anything, you know, is it really that great, right? That's why I'm going to say it again, and it says it here, focus on your business objective, okay? Building followers is not necessarily a true business objective and should never be your main business goals. We talk about vanity metrics in the field, right? The number of people that liked my post, the number of people that shared my post. These are, yes, they are metrics of something. They measure something, right? Usually, you know, those are measures of what we call engagement. But you're concerned about ringing that register. You're concerned about, you know, how many, you know, people walk through the, right? You're concerned about your business objective. And so you want to have the right customers, the right followers, the right audience, and not necessarily the largest audience. And so don't focus so much on the total number of followers or the total number of, likes and, loves and, shares. Focus more on the kind of metrics that you have for your business. There's some talk about hashtags here, right? One thing you want to do is avoid overusing hashtags. So what's overusing? I tend to recommend that folks have at least one hashtag for their business name. So, Chris Enterprises is the name of my business, let's say. So then hashtag Chris Enterprises, hashtag money, hashtag business, hashtag social media, right? Hashtag Sacramento, hashtag California. I tend to recommend about 6 to 8 hashtags at the most. That's my general recommendation. However, obviously people do a lot more, but you want to try to avoid overusing hashtags. You also want to try to avoid buying your support. So that looks like actually buying followers. You can actually buy followers, but also like giving stuff away. And I'm creating content. Instagram will sort of frown on that, and it'll deprioritize your page's content because it knows that you're doing that kind of stuff. So how do you connect with the right people? How do you connect with the quality people, right? Well, first, you want to be authentic. You want to be your authentic self. Your authentic self is not perfect. I don't have to tell you that, and you don't have to tell me that, right? Our authentic selves are not perfect. Doesn't mean that we don't stutter from time to time when we're talking on the video, or cough, or take a drink of tea with honey, okay? Doesn't mean that you don't mess up words. That, it is not, this doesn't mean that you're perfect, but that you're authentic self. People want to see that you're human. People want to see that your business comes from a human being, right? People want to connect with you, right? People want to know your story, right? As we said earlier, people want to be connected through your passion, right? People want to explore and discover you, right? And be inspired by you and your brand and connect with you on a deeper level. You can't do that if you're not authentic, and that's gonna show. We are very skilled. Generally, we are very skilled at determining what's real and what's not real. I saw a question in the chat. Will the slides be made available? Absolutely. You can and will have all of these slides for your own personal use. Share creative content that represents your brand's unique personality, okay? Your brand has a unique personality because you have a unique personality, right? What is it that makes your brand unique, that makes you unique, okay? This is how if you're more clear about that and can share content that expresses that, you're going to attract the right kind of people, and the right kind of people buy stuff. Okay, I want to say that again. The right kind of people buy stuff from you. There's also something called the IG blog. I would recommend following the IG blog on Instagram. And I would also recommend that you spend some time, and this is within limits, just surfing around on Instagram and getting the feel for the culture of Instagram, okay? Every platform has its own culture, has its own language, has its own feel. Take some time learning the feel and the culture of Instagram. All right. If you didn't have enough social media, you're in store. You are lucky. We've got a whole nother dose of social media learning and loving for you right now. In the next 10, maybe 15 minutes tops, we're going to talk about, and we're going to pivot hard to Facebook pages. Okay.
You have one more question in the chat.
Oh, do we? Okay. Let's take some more questions. All right. A bit confused. Let me see if I understand what you're saying. Are you saying that Instagram, by virtue of its reach, shares my message? In other words, I do not do the mechanical targeting. My job is the messaging. Is that correct? If I'm understanding the question correctly, you're saying, or you're asking me, are you saying that Instagram, by virtue of its reach, shares my messages? So I'm saying that it's Instagram's job to keep people on Instagram. And the only way Instagram can do its job well is if people like what they see when they're on Instagram. And so Instagram's programs, software, algorithms, what they do is they try to match what people want to see with what they see, right? And so your job is to create content that's relevant to your brand, that's authentic, and that's high quality. Part of what Instagram will do that is find people who've already told Instagram, I'm interested in this kind of content, or I'm interested in that kind of content. Doesn't mean that you don't, go out and explore and try to find people, but it's a part of Instagram's job to help you find the right people. And so it's in Instagram's interest that people see what they like to see on Instagram, or else why am I using Instagram, right? Why would I use Instagram if every time I go on Instagram, I see stuff that I don't want to see, right? And so that's why Instagram's job, and part of what Instagram does, and we can talk about how good a job it does, but part of Instagram's job is to make sure that people see stuff that they like to see and that they want to see when they're on Instagram. Hope that answers the question. It's a really, really good question. And then you have a question about linking your Facebook page with Instagram. Let me actually come to that in the Q&A. But generally, it's pretty simple. Once you try to share something on Instagram, you'll see when you look toward the lower part of the last page before you can share, it'll say something like share to, and then it'll say, the name of your Facebook page, or share to another app. Once you hit that button, it'll let you connect your Facebook page if you can. I think it lets you connect your Twitter and your Tumblr if you use Tumblr. And if you haven't connected it, it'll give you a way to actually connect it. All right, let's get to the Facebook part. This is pretty simple, and it won't take too long, but it's really, really relevant, especially to what we just talked about with respect to Instagram. Your Facebook page, just like your Instagram page, is your business's identity. In this case, though, it's on Facebook, okay? So your page is divided into sections, right? And by your page, I mean your business page, not your personal profile, right? And again, if you're like me, a lot of us started on Facebook and just put stuff on our own personal profile that was business related. Type number 4 in the chat if you have a special particular page for your business on Facebook. Do you have a business page on Facebook? Put number 4 in the chat if you already do. And you will already know, if you do, that your page is divided into sections, and that you really want to share as many useful details about your business on your Facebook page to make it easy for people to do business for you. A lot of us already have a Facebook business page. That's awesome, right? So that includes a list of your products, services. If you're hiring right now, God bless you. Please put that up there. And then also what we call calls to action. And we'll talk about those calls to action in a moment, but they're very, very important. This is what your business page looks like on mobile. Think about everything you post on Facebook for your business page. Think about the fact that 90+% of the people who see it on average are going to see it on their phone. Okay. So you want to be designing for mobile. Design your content, design what you share about your business on Facebook for mobile, because that's how most of us are going to see it. This is what it looks like. Generally, this is a mock-up business, but as you can see on the first sort of left side here, my left, you've got the about section. So you've got the name of the business. If you scroll down, you'll see that middle image here. You've got an address, you've got a number, you've got a website, you've got an email, you've got a list of the products and services, hours, everything and anything that anybody would want to ask you should be on your Facebook business page, should be in your about section. There should never be any unanswered questions when it comes to your Facebook business page. People should be able to connect with you and find information about your business very, very easily. On the far right, my far right side, you're looking at what a mock version of a review section for somebody's page is. So this is where people can leave your business reviews. It's like your own personal Yelp, right there on your business page. Generally, Facebook will, and this goes back to the question about Instagram. Part of Instagram's job is to show people stuff that they want to see. Part of Facebook's job, we can talk about if they do a good job or not, but part of Facebook's job is to show people stuff they want to see on Facebook. Facebook will deprioritize or show your stuff to less people if your about section is not filled out all the way, and if you don't enable people to leave you reviews. Right? So I want to say that again. If you don't have a very well filled out about section, and if your reviews section is not there and enabled, meaning you don't allow people to give you reviews, Facebook will not show your stuff to as many people as it can on its own without you paying for it. Okay, so that's a very important point. And again, it goes back to that question earlier, that very good question about Instagram. It's an Instagram and Facebook's job to keep people on Instagram. That's how they make their money, right? So anything that they do that makes you want to leave Instagram or Facebook is not good for them. And so generally what they want is have you see things that you want to see while you're there, because then you can stay there for the many, many hours that many of us spend on these platforms, right? So make sure that you are providing useful information about your business, your cover photo and videos. Think high quality, once again, right? Meaning clear, audible, and I can see it, right? High quality, right? And again, you want to enable your ratings and review section. And once again, to say this again, you want to be building for mobile, okay? Pages have sections. About is one section. Reviews is another section. Those are the two sections that we've talked about. We're going to talk right now about, and lastly, we'll talk about your shop and your services section, because this is where you are usually going to create and generate the most moolah, the most money. So the shop section is where you showcase and sell, point blank, period, okay? Shop is free to use. Facebook does not take a percentage of anything that you sell through shop, all right? And it's so if you don't have an e-commerce like program or platform that you use yet, so for example, some of us use like Etsy or like, some of these other great platforms, right? I was just watching an interview on Yahoo Finance with the CEO of Etsy, right? Great company, great service, right? But you can also do everything you can do on Etsy through Facebook Shops. And I think Facebook is actually now coming out with a standalone app just for shops called Facebook Shops. All right. They take no percentage, and it's free to use. Okay. So there's a shop section of your Facebook page too that you want to make sure that you have enabled if you are doing business through Facebook. Similarly, there's a services section, right? So this is where you can talk about your services and anything and everything that anyone would ask, whether it be pricing, offerings, discounts, menus, whatever it is, you want to make sure that that information is there. Okay, make it easy for people to do business with you. Make it as frictionless as possible. What's friction? Friction is I have to click 3 or 4 times off of Facebook to get to what I saw on Facebook from your business. Give them everything right there on Facebook, right? Make it easy, make it as easy as possible, or make it a one-click thing, right? But anything that I have to do extra is called friction. So make it very, very easy and make sure that you're sharing as much as you can about your business on Facebook. All right, last but not least, man, I'm always on time. Last but not least, calls to action. Your Facebook business page for mobile should have, is recommended to have a call to action button, okay? Your calls to action should directly support your business goals. We're gonna round up where we started at. Business goals, business goals, business goals. So for example, buy now, apply now, book now, sign up, get a quote, okay? Contact us, right? Call now, right? Start order, okay? These are the calls to action button options that you have for your Facebook business page. You want to select the call to action button that is the most relevant, that is the best for your business. As right after someone has looked at your services section, they've looked at your shop section. Oh man, I love that outfit. Oh man, I love that. I need that service. That call to action button needs to be very visible and needs to be there to allow the customer to take that next step toward what we call conversion, but what you call spending money, okay? So that's gonna wrap us up. I have a couple of minutes for Q&A, but before I do that, I just wanna give you a glimpse of some of the other courses that I do teach. This is not the entirety of them because stuff is always changing on social media. I even teach a course called What's Changed About Social Media. This is a list of some of the other stuff that you can get help with from me outside of the StackTap program. And all my information is findable and visible through StackTap. But I'm talking more intro to Instagram, more intro to Facebook, intro to those stories that we talked about, intro to insights. That's how you learn how to track your performance. Facebook Messenger for Business, which is its own business platform now. Setting up your Facebook shop, intro to ads on Facebook and Instagram, live video basics, social media management tools, TikTok, Reels, I talked about Reels earlier, and more. So I'll stop there. I'm gonna stop my screen share. Questions, comments, feedback. Wow, this is a packed room.
You have 2 questions in the chat. The first one's from Kathy.
All right, let's get through these questions. How much time do you suggest devoting to your social media accounts each week? I know when I go to a business Facebook page, I notice, so it seems like you need to keep it fresh. Absolutely. Let's answer this question simply. At least once a week, okay? Nothing less than once a week, all right? I recommend that you put something up there, post at least once every 2 days, at the bare minimum once a week, but recommended once every 2 days, okay? Why? Because Kathy's gonna notice. Chris is gonna notice, right? You're gonna notice, right? Put something up there, even if it's you're reposting your logo and your business information, okay? but make sure that you are regularly talking about what's going on your business page. Another question, I turned off my review section because of a bridezilla and her father-in-law were leaving a horrible review that was filled with lies. I turned off the review platform because I felt it was losing business based on 2 reviews. So you're saying I should leave the reviews on. By the way, the bride was removed and her review, right, is still there. So the answer is yes. You are going to have unfair reviews. What you want to do to those unfair reviews is you want to respond professionally in the comments, right? I'm sorry you had this negative experience. This is not reflective of how we do business. And we're looking forward to you giving us another shot, to earn your business, okay? You don't want to penalize your entire business's performance based on one of those reviews. What's gonna happen is Facebook is going to show your stuff to less people if you don't have that review section on. Obviously, it's gonna happen, right? You're gonna have an unfair review, and great, you responded professionally. That's absolutely right. That's all you can do, and that's the nature of business, right? You can't always control what people say, but I'm confident that you'll have enough positive reviews to balance that out, that ultimately it won't matter. I'm confident enough in you as a business owner that you're going to have enough positive feedback ultimately that that's going to be a small blip, if people ever even remember it. Other questions? Getting a lot of thank yous. Well, thank you all. I appreciate every single one of you. And I want to end just saying again, thank you for hanging in there during probably one of the most important years in the history of this country. Each one of you is a hero and a shero. Each one of you is a warrior. Each one of you is powerful. Each one of you made history this year because you survived, okay? And there are only gonna be better things going on next year, and BSBA is here to make that happen, okay? Thank you again, fam, and feel free to reach out.